Yukizuriman awoke in his bed to see a girl sleeping next to him, and he was a bachelor hero. He admitted to himself that he knows he's home, but his hangover is so bad that he can't remember much else. Pressing his fingers to his forehead and wiping the sweat from his brow, Yukizuriman tried to recall the previous events. He recalled saving a girl that was being held hostage by a goat monster, but everything got fuzzy after that. But with that flash of memory, he realized that he must have slept with the girl he saved and panicked, questioning what he should do. As he sat up in bed filled with concern, he noted that his biggest weakness as a hero was actually alcohol. As Yukizuriman called himself a newly failed hero, the girl beside him began to stir. She sat up and greeted Yukizuriman a good morning, startling him from the suddenness of the action. The girl looked at him blushing and spoke in a soft voice, saying that Yukizuriman was rougher in bed than he was in the battle he had before it. Hearing that and seeing the girl's eyes, Yukizuriman realized something. She was the goat monster, and it was confirmed when her horns popped out and her ears changed. This one night changed everything as Yukizuriman went on to use the Commander Shepherd method of dealing with monsters from now on. He'll bang, okay? Yukizuriman had slipped in after the revelation of who Yakiko was, and eventually came downstairs. Yakiko warmly greeted him and told him that she had cooked for him, so would he like a drink as well? Yakiko laughed and said that since he had snoozed so much, she had plenty of time to cook something up for him. She was a goat monster, and so strong that she posed a real challenge to Yukizuriman. Yukizuriman then asked Yakiko why monsters attack humans, and she explained that their instincts screamed that humans are evil, so they attack. Blushing gently, Yakiko confessed that she now wants to try and get along with humans. Yukizuriman questioned why, and Yakiko got all shy, saying that he's a meanie for asking this. Glancing away, she admitted that since they banged, she has to be his mate, even if she didn't want to. However, all her body language and expressions said that she liked him genuinely. However, Yukizuriman shattered her dreams as he said that she's crazy for thinking that they were dating since they only banged once, so she should just eat up and leave. Yakiko went red with embarrassment and grew furious with Yukizuriman's callous response. The pair then began to argue, then fight, before banging and finally making up after round 3. On another day, a sea cucumber monster called Namako began to create chaos in the city, saying that it was revenge for humans polluting the seas. Yukizuriman quickly defeated Namako and told her not to go crazy in the city, but just as quick, told her that he'd hear her out and listen to her backstory. Over a drink, of course. Namako and Yukizuriman began to talk, with the former being shocked by the kindness, with the latter just wanting to eat. Namako told him that he seemed to be used to talking to monsters, but Yukizuriman just explained that it's easier than fighting, so it's the better choice. As the pair sat at the bar, Yukizuriman told Namako that she can tell him anything, and the sincerity reached her heart, causing her to blush. In the end, Yukizuriman got too drunk and began complaining about people judging him for being a superhero and calling him a indulgent cosplayer. Namako told him he was too drunk and is he okay? Yukizuriman snapped up and asked if Namako was concerned about him. Yukizuriman then looked at Namako with complete sincerity and told her that she's a great person. This charm struck Namako's heartstrings and she began to blush like crazy. Yukizuriman then began to hit up Namako, asking if she wanted to go somewhere else with him, and she excitedly went with them, which turned out to be a love hotel. The next morning, Yukizuriman returned home, smelling flowery, only to be greeted by his mad goat waifu Yakiko. She questioned why he was late and why he smelled of soap. Yukizuriman explained that he had to get the slime off him somehow, and it wasn't easy, but this just pissed Yakiko off more, and she chased him around with the ladle, questioning what he did to make him so sticky. Another day, another monster, and this time it was a mantis monster that was quickly defeated by one kick from Yukizuriman. After defeating her, Yukizuriman took off his costume and asked the mantis girl for a drink. On her knees and looking pathetic, she asked if he'll hear out her backstory. After a lot of drinking and agreeing that deforestation is bad, Yukizuriman brought the mantis girl to a love hotel. An hour of banging later, he had to flee the love hotel with the mantis girl hot on his heels. Drooling and dual-wielding cutlery, the mantis girl told Yukizuriman that he needs to be a good boy and be her post-cardio snack. However, he was not in the mood to be eaten in this way, and escaped at full speed. Meanwhile, Yakiko was heading home until Yukizuriman's voice called out to her. With a slight blush, she called back to him, saying she got cheap groceries so they can have hot pot tonight. Stunned, Yakiko questioned the situation, and Yukizuriman explained that the mantis girl was trying to eat him. Yakiko, being the best waifu, instantly defended her man, but Yukizuriman claimed that he's not her man. However, Mantis Girl claimed that the relationship isn't the issue here, as it meant nothing to this issue. The Mantis Girl then explained that all mantises eat their partners post-coitus. Realizing the real situation, Yakiko asked if the pair banged, and Yukizuriman quickly confirmed that it was true, and the Mantis Girl was just too sheltered. While still hiding behind Yakiko, he told the Mantis Girl that she needs to learn about casual hookups, one-night stands, you know all that, idiot? Yakiko, not putting up with the BS, kicked Yukizuriman towards the Mantis Girl and told her to eat him, which she happily agreed to. On a relaxed day, Yukizuriman drove Yakiko to the shops. She told him that he does have a cute side because he asked her to come along. However, he told her that he just needed someone to hold the bags. As Yakiko laughed it off, they didn't notice that there was a monster stepping onto the road. The monster announced that they were a cactus monster, and they hated those who damaged the environment. Unfortunately for the monster, Yukizuriman didn't stop and hit the monster full on with the car. The pair ended up picking up the cactus girl, and Yukizuriman moved to the back seat to flirt and drink with her. The cactus girl insulted him over and over, but he just complimented her, which turned the cactus girl into a tsundere. However, it also pissed off Yakiko. Yakiko called Yukizuriman shameless for flirting in front of her, but he countered saying that he has no impulse control when a cute girl is in front of him, so he has to flirt with her. The cactus girl questioned if Yukizuriman had good eyes, as in her opinion, she's not cute. But he told her if he has to have bad eyes to see her as cute, then so be it. All this flirting was upsetting Yakiko more and more as she approached her breaking point. Yukizuriman then pulled out some riz, as he said that he knew that cacti flowers bloom at night, so could he see her flower tonight? The line worked, and the tsundere cactus-chan could only stutter out a dummy in response. Yakiko was at her breaking point, and Yukizuriman was about to set her off. He told her to go home first, because he'll go to a love hotel with Cactus-chan. Pissed completely off, Yakiko managed to somehow kick Yukizuriman out of the car while still driving, and he hit the road with a groan and a wet slap. Yakiko scolded Yukizuriman as he came home late again and didn't tell her, which was the main reason why she was so pissed off. He questioned how many times she had to reheat his food, but he just told her that he didn't ask her to do that, and she was just a freeloader. Yakiko was shocked and questioned his humanity and called him a jerk. Yukizuriman then got up and left, claiming that he was going monster slaying. However, Yakiko asked if he was really just heading out to pick up women again, but the door slammed shut before she got an answer. As he walked the streets, Yukizuriman heard an odd amoeba noise. It turned out to be an amoeba monster, and she was quickly defeated and asked to go for drinks even faster. Amoeba-chan admitted that Yukizuriman was stronger than the rumors, but she had thought this would happen and had a plan. Amoeba-chan admitted that she had split herself before attacking him, surprising Yukizuriman. She explained that she's an amoeba, obviously, so she can split by mitosis and create numerous versions of herself. She then asked Yukizuriman where her other half might have gone. Back home, Yakiko was cleaning as someone approached. She questioned where Yukizuriman might have went before noticing the stranger. Yakiko asked if the other Amoeba-chan was a lost kid, but she just laughed at her. The original Amoeba-chan then questioned what Yukizuriman will do since the other her will strike while he's here. The other Amoeba-chan will try and end Yakiko, but will Yukizuriman be able to make it back in time? Yukizuriman began to rush home, all the while Amoeba-chan chased him and taunted him. He knew that he had to get home to Yakiko quickly, and once home, he heard someone calling for help, causing him to call Yakiko's name. Yukizuriman yelled at Yakiko to not end the monster, and Yakiko casually responded to him while giving the other Amoeba-chan a wedgie. Other Amoeba-chan was crying and begging to be saved. Yakiko commented that she understood that ending lives makes humans sad, so she only scolded the other Amoeba-chan. The original Amoeba-chan commented that Yakiko was so strong, causing Yukizuriman to confess that Yakiko was so strong that even he couldn't beat her one-on-one. Yukizuriman then told her that since he and Yakiko couldn't beat each other, they decided to talk, over drinks, and then bang. But this made Amiiba-chan question why he rushed home, only to see him checking if the other Amiiba-chan was okay, causing her to think that maybe he was actually worried about the pair of them despite being monsters. Yakiko then approached Yukizuriman with blush on her cheeks, saying that he must have come home since he was worried about her, and that makes him such a cutie. Being blunt as always, he admitted that he was worried about the other Amiiba-chan, actually. With an excited expression, he claimed that the chance for a threesome was hard to come by, and he's taking this chance. Yakiko then threatened to split Yukizuriman, and began beating him. Yakiko had prepared breakfast and asked what everyone wanted to drink. Amiiba-chan asked for milk, the other Amiiba-chan asked for orange juice, and Yukizuriman just asked why the pair were here. Yakiko then asked the question as well, and the girls explained that they haven't finished their job. When asked for more information, they said that their target was Yukizuriman, their main foe, and the traitor goat monster, Yakiko. The monster organization will keep targeting Yukizuriman and Yakiko until they are put down like the threats they are. Yukizuriman, unfazed, said that it's fine, but why are the girls living here? He admitted that they are planning to live here, and Yukizuriman told him that they have quite the nerve for planning to stay. Yakiko then told the Amiiba girls that they are ruining her and Yukizuriman's marriage, but he quickly clarified that they are not married. Yukizuriman then complained about all of them being freeloaders, before asking for more food. Yakiko questioned how he could say that, as she's been cooking and cleaning regularly for him. Yukizuriman then explained that they can only all stay if they bang, okay? Amiiba-chan then said he'd be better off in hell. However, the other Amiiba-chan then spoke up. Other Amiiba-chan said that she was down for the deal, catching both Yakiko and Yukizuriman off guard. Picking up other Amiiba-chan, Yukizuriman began to carry her to bed, saying that no one is to disturb him. It is revealed that other Amiiba-chan's name is Amiko, while the original Amiiba-chan's name is called Muebako. Yakiko, however, was having none of it and grabbed a knife while chasing Yukizuriman. While Yukizuriman was out alone on the balcony, Yakiko called out to him and asked if he couldn't sleep. Yakiko sympathized with him, saying that this situation was a scary one and not being able to sleep is understandable. Yakiko then mentioned that knowing that assassins are moving in the shadows would make anyone sleepless. Yukizuriman then shifted the topic, asking about Amiko and Muebako. Yakiko told him that they are asleep and clueless to the situation. Yukizuriman returned to looking at his phone, but Yakiko approached him and claimed that she doesn't know if this will help, but did it anyway. Yakiko embraced Yukizuriman from behind with all her heart, blushed clearly on her cheeks. Yukizuriman questioned what she was doing, but Yakiko told him not to look and just listen. No matter how many monsters come after him, she'll be by his side, fighting. Yakiko admitted that her only weakness was falling in love with Yukizuriman, and that's also her promise to him. Turning to leave, Yakiko told him to enjoy the night, but don't stay too long in case he catches a cold. As she left and wished him a good night, he returned the sentiment, before adding to himself that he was actually out here because he was texting another woman, trying to hit her up. Back in the monster realm, the Monster King, who looked like a goth mommy, questioned why she was losing her cutest monsters, to which a servant admitted that it was Yukizuriman's fault. The Monster King asked about Yukizuriman, and the servant explained that he was strong and that he had defeated and tamed the monsters, which the word tamed caught the Monster King's attention. The Monster King then asked if the girls left because Yukizuriman is more charming than her, but the servant said that it wasn't true. Unfortunately, the servant failed, and the Monster King punished her harshly. Once the servant's head popped like a balloon, the Monster King announced that she'll go to Yukizuriman and see who will fight him. The front door rang, and both Yakiko and Yukizuriman were confused by who it could be. Yakiko, being ever the faithful waifu, said that she'll deal with it. Opening the door, it was revealed that it was the Monster King, and not only was she a goth mommy, but also tall. Oh, and she commented on how her and Yakiko hadn't seen each other in a while. Horror filled Yakiko's eyes as she looked at the Monster King, knowing that calamity had found her. The Monster King only had one more word for her: traitor. The Monster King, towering over Yakiko, said that her betrayal required punishment and began to move to pluck out Yakiko's eye. However, after a moment, Yakiko noticed that nothing had happened and opened her eyes once again. Yukizuriman, with the tact of a brick, said that if the Monster King was an escort, then she's at the wrong house. Yakiko said Yukizuriman's name, causing the Monster King to realize who he was and asked him directly if it was true. He quickly asked why she wanted to know that. The Monster King said that it was awful that Yakiko was with a playboy, and Yukizuriman questioned what she said. Yukizuriman then asked for clarification. How could she say that he's careless in bed? He's a pro. The Monster King said that she can see it clearly on his face, but he just told her to bang him and find out the truth. Needing backup, Yukizuriman told Yakiko to explain his prowess in bed, but she was just confused. Yukizuriman then disclosed that he gets regular complaints from his neighbors because all the girls are loud in bed, which caused Yakiko to hit him out of embarrassment. The Monster King mentioned that the more she learnt about Yakiko's situation, the more pissed off she got. Sitting at the kitchen table, the Monster King complimented human tea, but Yukizuriman said that she's not just here for tea, right? The Monster King asked for clarification, and Yukizuriman said that she was actually here to defeat him, right? However, she said that she wasn't, but then explained that she actually can't end him at the moment. The Monster King explained that she's actually the weakest physically, but that's why she's been making servants. If she was strong, she would have fought him already by now. The Monster King then asked him to use his brain, but Yukizuriman responded that he won't sit here and be lectured by a woman in lingerie. The Monster King added that she's here as a courtesy call, as she wanted to see what would be the best monster to send to defeat him. Yukizuriman quickly told the Monster King that tits and ass are welcome to try, but she responded that he can chase them all he wants in the afterlife. Silence was broken by laughter, and it came from Yakiko. She commented that this wit is what she expected from the Monster King. Yakiko said that the Monster King really is her only master, which surprised her. Yukizuriman was stunned by this betrayal, but as he looked into her eyes, they were sorrowful, but slowly becoming soulless and empty. The Monster King questioned Yakiko's loyalty, but she claimed that she came to her senses and she wanted to serve the Monster King once again. The Monster King laughed before tussling Yakiko's hair and calling her cute. However, the moment was broken when Yukizuriman called out to Yakiko. Yukizuriman reminded Yakiko of her words from the night before, seeming to act nonchalant, but definitely wasn't being that. He told her that she had promised, but Yakiko, her eyes still dull, said that her emotions were fickle, so she's leaving him. Yakiko then implored the Monster King to leave with her now, as she has spent months with Yukizuriman, but the end had arrived. Yakiko claimed that Yukizuriman was trash, and if left alone, he posed no threat. Yukizuriman, now getting to his feet, questioned if the pair thought they can just leave like this, but the Monster King called him a fool for those words. Opening a portal, the Monster King explained that she only came because she can flee whenever she wants. Yakiko, eyes like marble, said her goodbye to Yukizuriman and entered the portal. As it all ended, Moibako came down the stairs after just waking up. Moibako greeted Yukizuriman and asked what happened since she had heard people. Yukizuriman told her that it was a woman in lingerie, and Moibako knew instantly that it was the Monster King and said that the end is nigh. Once he heard that, Yukizuriman asked for an explanation. Moibako told him that the Monster King's power is that she can see an opponent's weakness instantly. Still freaking out, Moibako told him that just one glance and it's all over. Yukizuriman then realized what Yakiko did, as she had explained to him the night before that he is her weakness. Knowing that, Yukizuriman cursed that Yakiko had tricked him. Yukizuriman then confessed that he hates being protected by women. It's his most hated thing in the world. He then told Moibako to awake Emiko, because they are going to the monster realm to make Yakiko and the Monster King cry. As he said this, rage radiated off him. To be continued in the Yakiko rescue.